Hi everybody, it's Juliet here. Today we're going to be making this little wreath earring, the mate for it. It's very cute. I've made these for, I don't know, about 4 years, and they're always very popular at craft markets and such. So I'm excited to share it with you today. And it doesn't take many materials. These are 8/0 seed beads in green. These have a rainbow finish just to, I think it kind of breaks up the little wreath and makes it look more natural. So that's why I chose those, because each bead looks kind of a little different. And just some red Silverline beads, 11/0. So these are 8/0, these are 11/0. You'll need some kind of ear wire. I'm just using a pretty bog standard one for this. And you'll need a jump ring to attach it just at the top there. You can see how there's a jump ring there. So let's get started. And you'll need 6 pound, I'm using 6 pound smoke Fireline. You need quite a lot because this is worked in what was called cubic right angle weave, or CRAW, and that tends to suck up a lot of thread. So I'm starting with a whole wingspan, which means stretch your arms out from one side to the other and then cut there. That's how much I'm using. So it's probably about 5 feet. It's always better to cut more than less, because less is annoying and then you have to add on more thread. And I've got my needle here. I'm just going to thread that on. I'm trying to do this without the light today because I feel like using my light makes a lot of glare, and I actually think this might come out looking better. So and I've got some old videos that have been on the channel for a long time. My most popular one is my little Santa hat tutorial, and I'd love to know, do you want me to remake that so that you can see a bit better? I know a few people in the comments over the years have asked me to remake it, but I don't want to do it if you want something new. But if you want me to remake some of those older videos, I would be willing to do that. Okay, I've got my thread. I've got about 6-inch tail here at the end. I've got my finger there. I'm going to pick up 4 beads to start our cubic right angle weave. Now I'm going to just whiz through this. If you don't know how to do it, I would recommend that you do a search for CRAW, CRAW, or cubic right angle weave. Do a search on YouTube. There's a lot of tutorials on how to do this. So I will eventually do like a beginner's video. So what I'm doing, I'm making a loop and I'm going back through the whole, all 4 again, and 1 extra just to close it up. Yeah, eventually I want to make a whole series for beginners. Okay, so my tail is here on the left, and this is my working thread on the right. I'm just going to turn this so it's facing towards me. Okay, so my working thread is here. So this is like the end of my cubic right angle weave right here. So what we're going to do is make a cube. So if this is one end of the cube, I'm going to pick up 3, and I'm going to, so my thread's coming out the front here. I'm going to go into the back of the same bead, and pull. And so now I have like two squares together, but I want them to be at right angles to each other, so I'm just going to hold them like that. So my thread's coming out here. I'm going to go down the next bead on the end. Now I'm going to pick up two beads, and I'm going to go through this bead here that was on the three that we just put on a minute ago, and the same bead that I'm coming out of. And that's going to form another side for our bead, our little cube. Okay, so I've got that side and that side, and I got three sides. So now I'm coming out here, I'm going to go down the next one on the end. And I'm going to pick up two more. And I'm going to go through that one and that one. So the side one of this square I just made, plus the one I'm coming out of. Okay, so we've now got the end plus three sides, but we have to close up. We now have to close up this side, so I'm going to go down again into the next one on the end. So you always have to travel around to the next one on the end. But this one's already here. This one's already here, so I don't need to add one here. I just need to sew through that one that's already there. We don't have one on the end here. So I'm going to pick one up and add it, and then I'm going to go through that one that's already there and back through my end bead. Oops. Get that back where it was. Okay, so that's how we were. So we're coming out here. Now I need to work my way over to this ring here so that I can add the next four. So I'm just going to go through that one there on the side. And then I'm going to turn it, and I'm going to go down this one at this end. And now we're going to repeat the whole process, which is you're going to add you're going to add three for the first group, and then so I'm adding three, then I'm going to move to, I'm going to rotate, and I'm going to go down the next one on the next side. Now I'm going to add two, so it's always 3, 2, 2, 1 is how you do it. So I picked up two, I'm going through these two, I'm going to rotate again, go down the next one. So we've done three, we've done two, this is another two. And then this is the last one we've already got. So I'm going down into the next side. Then I'm going to go sideways here. Then this is the one that we need to add. One, and go back through that top one and the side one. Okay, and now I need to work my way up to here, so I'm going to go again through that side there. I'm going to rotate one just because it's easier to hold it, and I'm going to go down. Okay, so I've now completed 2 units. I'm going to continue doing this until I have 11 units. I'll do one more unit and then I'll pause it and let you work on that, and then I'll show you what to do. So here we go, 3, and then down the next side, 2, top and side, rotate, enter the next side, another 2, and then this is the side where we already have some beads, so we go down the next, get to the side, we're gonna, this one's already here, we're just gonna join it by going through it. We're gonna pick up our 1, we're gonna go through the top one, and again through our sideways facing one, and then work our way up and get in position to do the next unit. Now, if you want to count how many units you've done, if you lay it flat, so these beads here are going, you could run your needle through this way, okay? These beads are the long way beads, so this is what you need to count, is the beads that go up and down. So I've got 1 set here, 2 sets here, and 3 sets here. So that's how I know how many I've done. I've done 3. I'm going to do 11, and then I'm going to come back in a minute and show you the next step. Okay, so I've now done 11 units of right angle weave. Let me just check that. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. And what I did when I finished the final unit, I came up to the end and I just went around the 4 beads. So I went in a circle just to close that up at the top. So just go, you know, in the same direction you've been working. Okay, so now for the 12th unit, we're actually going to join this together. So what you need to do is make sure that you've got your beadwork straight and not like twisted one way or another. So there should be a nice kind of train track running along here, and that's how you'll know that it's straight. We're going to put those 2 beads together, so just check that it's straight and put them together and just hold them together with your fingers for a second. Actually, you need to, whichever bead you're coming out of, that needs to be the side that you put together. Okay, so just double checking that that is not twisted. This is correct. Okay, so I'm coming out from this bead right here. Okay, and we are going to join over to this side here. So I'm going to pick up a seed, an AO seed bead, and I'm coming out this side. So on this one, I'm going to go in the same side. So if I'm coming out from the right, I go in from the right. And I'm going to pull that nice and tight, and then I'm going to pick up another seed bead. And obviously here I'm coming out from the left, so I need to enter the same bead from the left. That's going to make a square when we pull it like that. Okay. Now I'm going to move up to the side here, and we're going to basically join it into a circle like this. It's going to become a circle in a minute, but we're just going to do one side at a time. So we're going to pick up 1. So I'm coming out the top, so I need to go into what would be the top, which is the furthest away bead here, then into the one here that we just added, and back into the same bead that we're coming out of. When I pull that, that means that side is actually complete. It might not look it right now, but it is. Now I'm going to move over to the top and join the two tops. I'm gonna try and pull that a little bit. Okay, I'm going to pick up one bead. I'm coming out of the left side, so I'm going to enter the farthest away bead from the left side going towards the right side and pull, and then I'm going to go back through the bead we just added in the last step, pull it, and back through the original bead that we started that side with. And then I have to close up this side, so I'm going to move down into the side bead here. Now all of these beads are already here. I don't need to add anything, I just need to close them up. So this is the side bead. Sorry. And then this is the bottom bead. Another side bead, and back into the original bead. Okay, and that is that. That is closed into a ring now. Everything is closed because we started on this inside, then we did this side, then this side, then this side, so it's all closed up. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm coming out this bead right here. I know it's kind of hard to see with the black, which is a up and down bead. I'm going to enter into the bead right next to it, going this way, and I'm going to go all the way around this bottom strand. So I'm going through 12 beads. I'm going all the way around in a circle. Round and round and round we go. And I'm going to just overlap a little bit, just why not? Make sure I've absolutely gone through them. Now when I pull this really tight, it's going to pull that right together. See how it's like, it's oops. So I've pulled that and it's just like kind of closed it all up nice and tight. Okay, so that's that. So now I'm going to move up and I'm going to start working on this ridge right here. So I'm going to actually keep going in the same direction. So I'm going to go here. So we're now on the outer ridge, what I would call the outer ridge. I'm just trying to keep that nice and tight, that inner loop. And I'm actually going to push it so it kind of comes to the top here, okay? So I'm going to pick up one 11-0, and I'm going to go through the next 2 beads on that ridge. And I'm going to pick up one 11-0, and I'm going to go through the next 2 beads. And I'm going to do the same all the way around until I have 6 red 11-0s. Hold that down so it doesn't get in my way. So 1, 2, I'm coming out there. 2, and as I tighten, I don't want to pull it super tight because then it's going to actually pull it in as almost as tight as that. But you do want to pull it in a little bit. Okay, so then I'm coming out my very last, the very first 11-0 that I added. And I just want to pull it so that this ridge sits on the top, like the top side. Okay, now, so I'm coming out the red. I'm going to go into the next green one. And then I'm going to move out to this very outer ring. So I'm going to step up here and into the next bead here. Okay, so now you have to look. So here, there's a red bead. So I don't want a red bead here. So I'm going to add a green, one of our green 8/0s. And I'm just going to go into the very next bead on the outside. Now here, there is no red bead, so I'm going to add a red bead. Okay, so I'm coming out there, so I'm going into this one. Here's a red bead, so I'm going to add a green bead. So what we want is like every other, so it's offset. So it's like red, 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 red. Okay, so here's a green bead. And this is going to help kind of boost up the outside edge. These green beads are just kind of propping it outwards. And then a red bead. So we're just going around every other bead. Red, green, red, green. I have a craft market coming up this weekend, so I've been crazy busy making stuff this week for it, and it's such a long day. It's from 10 a.m. till 9 p.m. You have to stay the whole time, and that doesn't include setup and breakdown. So I am like, oh, I'm hoping I do well. Okay. Whoop, that wants to go over there. He's trying to hide. Alright, so this is your last red one. And then we've already added a green one, so I'm going to go through that. And I am going to go all the way around again because this is the outside edge, and this is actually where one of these beads is what connects it. So I want to make sure that this is all, you know, very strong. So I'm going to go all the way around again, and I'm going to count my reds so I know I've gone through them all. So that's 1, 2, 3. And again, I'm not pulling super tight or anything. 3. Because if you pull too tightly, it might actually distort the whole thing. 4. 5. And 6. Okay. So I know I'm back where I started. Now, what's happening here is it's actually starting to pull in. So we're going to work our way around to the back here. And so I'm here. I'm going to go through one more bead just to get, that's one of the ones that we added, a green one. I want to get through one of the ones on the base. And then I'm going to move down. And then this ridge, I'm going to just go around I'm not going to add anything, but I'm just going to pull it ever so slightly just to kind of try and keep this from sinking in on itself. So I'm just giving a counter weight, I guess I could say, to the front. And just to make sure that it doesn't like flip backwards and kind of ruin the look. And you see how much, like, remember how we started with 5 feet of thread? I only have like less than a foot right now. You really do, you need a lot of thread for this. Okay, so I'm just going to pull that moderately tight. I want to make sure that it's about the same as the front. And I think it is probably about the same. So, all right, so now we're going to work our way back to the front and we're going to put the bow on. So I'm coming out right here. I'm going to go up this one. Then I'm going to go into these. No, I'll go through all 3 of those green ones. Then I'm gonna work my way even more forward. Whoops, sorry, just bumped you. And then I'm gonna come to this one. Okay, so I'm coming out of a red bead on the front, right here. Okay, so I'm gonna pick up 9 red beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm coming out this way. I'm going to go back in from the same side to the red bead. Oops, just the red bead. And I'm going to do exactly the same thing again. I'm going to pick up 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And I'm going to just go into that red bead right there. Just the one. Okay, so that makes 2 little bows, I guess. And now we have to make the tail. So the way I do that is I pick up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. You could also do 5 if you think that's a bit long. I did 6 on that one, so I'm just going to do 6 again. And you push them down all the way. Then you're going to skip the end bead and you're going to go all the way back up through those 5 and your middle red bead that's attached, which is that one there. And that's going to be 1. And guess what? You do exactly the same thing again. 6 beads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Push it down. Skip the end one and go back through 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and find that bead. Where is it? There we go. That's it there. 6 and pull. And there we go. We have a cute, cute, cute little bow. Okay, so now I need to get away from here so I can see what I'm doing. So I'm just going to go through this green one next to it. Be careful not to loop your thread around your bow. Then I'm gonna work my way out to the outer rim. and I'm going to tie a knot. And then I'm going to go through a few more beads, and I'm going to tie another knot. If your thread's really short, you can push backwards with your needle and then hold your thread and pull. And that's a really great way, and that way you're not losing your thread, you know, it's not unthreading itself, and you're not going to poke yourself either. I'm going to do one more knot. So I'm going to show you again. So if you go through and then just pull it. Hang on, where's that supposed to be? Okay, pull. There we go. And then I'm just bring it up. I don't want it to be coming out of the very, very top, because that's the one that's opposite this, because that's where my jump ring's going to be. So I'm just going to make sure I'm not coming out of that one. And I'm going to cut my thread just like that. And I will do the same thing with my other tail. I'm just going to tie that in, and I will be right back and show you how to attach the jump ring. Okay, so I've finished tying off my other thread, and so I've got my jump ring, and it's overlapping a little, so I'm just gonna walk it apart slowly, carefully, and make sure that I get a good join before I start, because it's easier to get it so it lines up nicely now than it is to do it later. I'm just wiggling. See, that's not gonna focus, is it? Focus. There we go. Look, see how good that join is? So now I'm gonna twist it away from me, and I'm gonna pick this up, and the very top opposite there should be a green bead. I'm just gonna pop my jump ring through there. Oops, that's not the right earring. I'm gonna get my earring, make sure it's facing forward. I'm gonna pop that in there as well. And then I am just going to twist it closed again and just give it a squeeze, make sure there's no sharp edges. Looks good. There we are. That's my earring finished. You can kind of fix the bow to your liking. Cute, huh? I've never made them in white, but they would probably be really pretty in white as well, with little red bows, and like if you did different colored little berries, like little ornaments or something. So it's pretty easy if you know how to do cubic right angle weave CRAW. If you don't, I suggest you watch videos. So let me know in the comments if you want me to redo some of my older videos. Next week I'm going to be showing you, I think, how to make this barrette, or this hair slide. So come back and I'll show you that next week. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!